So, what do you do when authority figures, persons in places of power, parents, religious leaders, teachers, coaches, people who you might hold in high regard or high esteem, what do you do when they tell you you can't? So, think back to a time in your childhood or adolescence when you had a desire or a dream, something that you were super excited about, and someone in a position of authority dismissed it and told you it wasn't possible for you, or that was silly, or kicked you off the team, or in some way, shape, or form crushed your dream. And what I want to share with you are some tools to start to repair that and start to realign so that you're back in a place of really honoring your desires and realizing those desires instead of making yourself feel bad for not realizing those desires, or perhaps even be in a place of misalignment with what it is that you truly desire. So think back to a moment where you did have this crazy idea or super exciting dream, and then you couldn't wait to tell someone about it. And as soon as you told them, you could tell from the way they looked at you, and of course from what they said to you, they didn't believe in it, and perhaps they didn't believe in you. And often when we're young, we take that to heart and we start to make it a part of our story. We make it something that is true instead of thinking about, when we're young, not in a place of maybe thinking about, maybe they think this is what's best for me, they're trying to protect me, or maybe they're just projecting because they're not actually excited about their life. So there's many different interpretations, but of course when we're young, our soul interpretation oftentimes is that it's about us. And so what you can do is to think about who you are now and all the skills, tools, experience, expertise, and support and help that you have at your disposal right now. All the resiliency that you have created over time, the resourcefulness and creativity. And as this person now, go back to that young version of you who felt their dreams were dismissed, that their desires weren't valid, and give that version of you all the skills and tools and resources that you now have, and replay that event so that you have the ability to say, you know what, thank you, but I'm going to go after this anyway, and I appreciate your perspective, but I'm not going to take that on as truth right now. And see how that starts to shift what you believe is possible for you, because often unconsciously we'll still carry that old belief with us throughout adulthood, so that you'll notice you stop yourself from going after something that you truly desire. You talk yourself out of it, you self-sabotage, you pretend it's not that big of a deal, or you beat yourself up over and over and over for not having what it is that you desire. And so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, or sort of vicious cycle of you don't have what you want, and then you make yourself feel bad for not having what you want. But at the same time, you're stopping yourself from having what you want. And so part of being able to rewire this so that you're operating from a place of what is in your highest interest at all times is to go back and start to redo the past so that you're coming from a place of faith and trust in yourself, and honoring all that you desire, and seeing that your desires chose you as the vehicle through which for them to be realized. And in that place, you can get really clear and ask yourself, do I truly desire this? Or is this coming from a place of me feeling like I need to prove something to someone? Or this is something that, society has put pressure on me to feel like I should desire, but in reality, I don't really want that? Or is it that you like the idea of it, but the reality of it doesn't really light you up, and you're not really willing to do what it takes to create that desire because it doesn't align with you? And so when you realize it's not a true heart and soul desire, you can release all the shame, all the pressure, all the ways you've been bullying yourself and beating yourself up for not having it. And once you clear that out, then you can make space for you to get clear on what it is that you truly desire at your heart and soul. And in that place, visit what it would look like, what your life would look like, what you would look like, what are the emotions and experiences that would be the core part of who you are in that place of having realized your true heart and soul desires. And in that place, you can start to take action as if those desires are realized, because that is, again, your desires calling you to awaken and to take the steps necessary to make them real. And to know you are willing to take the steps necessary to make them real because they are who you are. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this, and definitely play around with really engaging yourself at that young age and now engaging yourself as you are now to see what is it that you truly desire and who will you be and what will your life look like once those desires are realized. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon.